Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. My name is Willie Wisely. Can you hear me? I'm going to turn on the comments here. Hello, Lori Biddle. Oh, I'm glad you're excited. Yes, I had to cancel this show in the face of some personal and political issues a number of months ago. We're here today doing the Parlez-vous Français album tribute show, tracking my 1994 album front to back, regardless of whether the songs were ever meant to play solo acoustic or just with a band. I'm going to do them today. Can everybody hear me? Because I have a different audio system. I'm always trying different audio configurations. And today I'm going to play an electric guitar, and I want to make sure that the sound is okay. Distortion, let me know. Anything that doesn't sound right. Hey, yeah. Can you hear everything? Does it sound balanced? New technology today, right? We got a new digital in-out box, and I got an amp in the other room. It's all mic'd up, like we're doing this right, like separation room. Any audiophiles out there? Give me a comment. Let me know if it sounds okay. If there's no distortion, then I'm happy and we can get going. My name is Willie Wisely, and many of you have attended my Stay at Home Again world tours before, where we've decidedly tributed an album from my career. This is the 7th album that we've done. I've got 8 studio albums and a bunch of others that are live and, rarities and that sort of thing, but 8 solid studio albums. And today we're going to start with Parlez-vous Français, and the first song on Parlez-vous Français is about my college town. A lot of you are Minneapolitans. Who knows about Dinkytown? That's where I lived for 11 years. I lived at 13th and 7th with a whole bunch of good friends who came through and stayed for a while and then took off. Boy, I was so deeply rooted in that place. Saw some pictures of it recently, and not unlike the wall behind me, it was stacked to the ceiling with stuff. I lived there so long, and I never throw away anything. I think I've had this shirt for 30 years. Yeah, I bought this at the garage sale across the street. In fact, I think the church would always do a thrift show or a thrift whatever, flea market kind of thing every year. Still have my wardrobes from that thing. All right. Looking for comments. Anybody? Can you hear the audio? Good? Okay. Mr. Galinsky. Hey, Galinsky, how's the audio? Is it good? Is the guitar balanced? Je parle un petit peu de français. I actually visited France, and it was a little painful how little French I knew. Let me know if the sound is good. All right, very good. Then we're going to get on with the first song, I do believe. Hi, Michelle. Great to see you. All right. I rigged myself up with the wrong guitar. So I figured how apt. I actually bought this guitar in Dinkytown in 1993. I bought it for $900. It's worth a lot more than that now. A lot. It's a 1957, and I played it in the trio when we toured from 93, 94, 95. Whoa. Okay. All right. You guys will let me know if there's anything. Jimmy Swan, too. I know you got audiophile ears, so let me know if there's any distortion or anything like that. Here we go. We're going to start off with the tracking of Parlez-vous Français, my 1994 records, originally released on Pravda out of Chicago. When in Dinkytown, sip a cup of Joe, open up my books, but I'm staring at the girls. I've got time, too much time, too much time, too much time on my mind. Town. Wear an ethnic hat, studying oppression. Oh, I think I'll cut my class, I've got time. Too much time. Too much time. Way too much time on my mind. The day's wide open. This is my reward. The day's wide open. No, but I'm free. Oh, the day's wide open. No, but I'm bored. When in Dinky Town, freshmen join the frats, checking their reflections in the storefronts they pass. They've got time, too much time, too much time, way too much time on my mind. Too much time, too much time, way too much time on my mind. So I remember in college, when I went to college in Dinkytown, which is the University of Minnesota on the East Bank in Minneapolis. And it just, you had all these storefronts and, you know, you'd have a door and then it would have a little inlet. It's old fashioned storefronts, you know, where you'd have diagonal glass on each side of the front door. And when you walk down the sidewalk, you'd catch a great view of yourself walking down the street. You could see yourself coming for a while in the angle of the glass. And it'd be all these frat people who are very beautiful. And the rest of us were rugrats. They'd always be like checking themselves out in all of the storefronts. And it was just really hard to watch. And then there was also that trend of ethnic hats, like, you know, Guatemalan weave things in the 90s and stuff like that. That made me crazy too. So it was a song of great complaints. Judd Apatow was on the Beatles channel on Sirius XM the other day, and he said his favorite Beatles songs are he just loves the genre of songs that is complaining songs. And or he might have said great complaints. What did he say? Anyway, he said so his favorite Beatles song is "It's Only a Northern Song," which is George Harrison bitching about his publishing deal. But so I guess that's sort of my grievance song, right? Yeah, grievance song. That was Dinkytown. All right, thank you for all the good. Hey, okay. We got Richard from Canada. We got Jimmy Swan from the Twin Cities and from my distant past. We got Robert Galinsky from New York. We got Gerard from France. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly. Just set it to kick ass and rock. Thank you, Ken. Was that about my guitar? Stop talking gear and just play, right? Okay, and Laurie Biddle, je parle un petit peu de français aussi. All right, very good. That might be it sounds like that's the extent of the French that you and I know, Laurie. All right, there we go. And Michelle is present. All right, we got a good crowd of folks going here. And we got Carrie. Lived in Dinkytown for years. Man, so did I. 11 years. Whew. Yep, I love that place. All right, so we're going back to the banners, and we're switching to the next song. Song number 2 on now this is a song I play this one live a lot. All right, I play this song live a lot because it's really fun to play, and because the trio sort of perfected it, and it was just our little pop rock number.
You could say you're satisfied with the love I provide, and you could say I've given you a lot, but then I might think you lie. It ain't easy knowing my love fails coming through. Well, I used to think that it was enough to just work my days away. But though I loved you all of this while, it was something that I left unsaid. It ain't easy knowing my love pales next to you. Oh, but I cannot love you enough. I love you nearly half so much dearly as I should. I cannot love you enough.
Rock on.
It ain't easy knowing my love fails next to you. Well, I didn't stop by to apologize. We'd mull it over far too long. Besides, I'll bet you that you're gonna forgive me if I start coming on real strong. It ain't easy having lame excuses. I've got a few wrong notes. Oh, but I cannot love you enough. I love you nearly half so much dearly as I should. I cannot love you enough. Oh, I love you nearly half so much dearly as I should. Cannot love you enough.
Forgive the parade of children, but I cannot love them enough. All right, so that was the hit single off of my Parlez-Vous Français record, if there were to be a single. The next song, song 3, now that was a big deal. And when I remixed the album in 2014, I remixed it, remastered it, added some bonus tracks, some demos, some unreleased stuff. And I put on there, like, song number 20 is a live version of Lady Beware. And it's an insane version. And there was actually a tape dropout on it. It's this board tape, and it's this great Feedback Frenzy, just huge rock show, insane recording. It's just a board tape on a cassette that I transferred to digital, but I just like, God, the world has to hear this. The trio, the Willie Wesley Trio, we were so out of our minds. We were crazy. But there's a tape dropout in the middle of it, or towards the end, actually, where it gets really intense. Something happened. And so I went and I found like a version of Lady Beware from the 7th Street Entry around the same time. The main version of it was from Shank Hall in Milwaukee. But just for this little tape dropout, I found a version from the 7th Street Entry and just plugged it in. So it late in the song, there's this whole like, just suddenly, it's all in tempo and everything. But the audio fidelity just completely changes for about 5 or 6 seconds. and then it goes back. So check that out. It's some cacophonous listening, but you'll see the energy inside of the boys on stage. All right, just before we do Lady Beware, I'm just gonna get to the comments. We've got Galit. Oh, hi Galit. Galit and I, we go way back. We met in Dinkytown. Holy cow, those were a few lifetimes ago, my sweetie. I just found some photos of you and I from what must have been the late 80s, so I'll have to share those. Ryan, hi Willie. All right, thank you, Ryan, for showing up again. Good to see you. Dan, you like that tune? Appreciate you coming again. David Scott, I remember when this was a rare CD before Parador. I had She and Turbo Sherbert for years and was thrilled that there was another piece of your puzzle out there. Good memories. Glad it's easier to find now. Yeah, for a while it was out of print, and and the used markets weren't so developed online and whatnot. Yeah, this was sort of my forgotten record because I kind of reached. This was my first record that brought me outside of the Minneapolis scene, and had people starting to recognize me from other parts of the country. But it was really the album after this, She, that sort of broke me nationally, and so the Parlez-Vous is sort of a forgotten record, a lesser heard one. I like that comment. Okay, and Richard, hey, what are the rest of the boys in the trio doing these days? Oh, that's a good question. I don't have a complete update. Peter Anderson just had a baby girl less than 2 weeks ago. Yep, he's got a toddler already, Oscar, and the baby girl, what's her name? Moy is her middle name. Oh, I'm flaking. Anyway, everyone go to Facebook, find Peter Anderson drummer. Peter Anderson drums, and he's a new father, so that's exciting. He still plays with a ton of people in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and gets around a lot, particularly before COVID. So, and in fact, we're on this machine right here. He and I are collaborating with plenty of new recordings. I've got 3 songs almost completed for a new album. All right. Let's see. Oh, James Voss is in Nilsville, Wisconsin still, where he was always from. He manages that B&B there called Tufts Mansion, where we've you probably all have seen some photos of us playing there over the years. We last played there in 2013, I think. But James has us every now and then. As far as I know, he's still playing in local bands. I invited him to be in my Minneapolis group 2 years ago, and he was too busy to do it. So he gave me the old Bill Wyman. Greg Wold probably isn't touching the trombone very much. He never did. He just picked it up when we told him to. And in fact, for our reunion record that we started recording in 2012, and it took us 5 years to record it, like until 2007 to 2012, it took us to record that thing. But every time I would book him for a session, he'd have to relearn how to play trombone. Anyway, poor guy. He is an advertising mogul in Madison, Wisconsin, and has a beautiful wife and a dear friend to the trio. And James is of course still married to Dawn, and their kids are older and all moved out too. Everyone's a success in their life, in their own way. And all right. Galit. All right, Jimmy. Awesome solution. Very raspberries. Oh yeah, Cannot Love You Enough is Very Raspberries. Yeah, Galit, you and I met in 1987 at a party. All right. I remember it well. Does Peter still have that giant ride cymbal? Yes, Peter still has his 36-inch ride cymbal, and I believe he puts it on his drum kit whenever he plays with me. Probably with other people too. I'm probably not his exclusive boyfriend, but there you go. Peter always rocks. He does. All right, that's we're all caught up on comments. We are going back to banners, and Lady Beware, you've been most patient. Lady Beware. Don't be green. Understand. Your man wants
wants to get inside of your legs. It ain't nice. It's a sinister way to think. I don't think twice. You go forewarned about the intentions of your man. A sweet little boy, so precious and coy. Arrest him for what's on his mind. Lady, beware what lurks on the mind of your man. Lady, beware. Well, they say girls talk so slack, man can hope to blush. Their meat, the slaves slopping, shit and patting my purse. I believe a man would be first to volunteer. Looks like a nice guy, a sugary spice guy. Arrest him for what's on his mind. Lady, beware what lurks on the mind of your man. Lady, beware. Lady, beware. Understand your man, he's raised about this world in such a way. He climbs, he's liable, prone, inclined to feed you lies. He's got eyes, it suits him fine to think he'll never change. He ain't never gonna change. He looks like a saint, $10 says he ain't. Arrest him for what's on his mind. Lady, beware what lurks on the mind of your man. lady beware.
All right, so that was Lady Beware, and I've got a special treat for anyone. Here, this is a good time to throw up another banner. You can always find t-shirts, posters, like the posters behind me. I'll even sign them if you want. CDs, vinyl, cassettes, and t-shirts are all at the Bandcamp, williewisely.bandcamp.com. See the bottom there. Who remembers these? These sold out decades ago, and I found 2 of them in my closet. I'm going to keep one, but the other one, I'm going to put it up for sale. Lady Beware. It's a large, printed in the early 1990s. The message is a little weird these days. You know, you got to kind of love the song. It's like, talk about inappropriate. The back is like this photo of this couple walking, and Willie Wisely Trio scribbled in sort of serial killer font. So just first person to just email me about this, wwisely@mac.com. You can buy it. It's just, I don't know, $20. Lady Beware, Willie Wisely Trio. One of a kind. None left. Except in my closet. What, am I going to give it to my kids? Probably. Oh, speaking of t-shirts, here's one that isn't for sale because this is the only one of these that I have. This is, talk about a bad idea that hasn't weathered well. This is the worst. And I won't even take a photo of this. I'll bury this deep inside of a live stream video post. But we made these t-shirts. I printed these myself on a silk screen. We always said that in the van, we're the little band that makes it big, right? You know, that's when we thought we were going to get a record deal. And then we realized, wow, we were kind of getting people excited, you know, the audience is excited. We are kind of the little band that makes it big, you know. You know. Well, I'll let the front of the t-shirt explain what the double entendre is, and it's an Aubrey Beardsley engraving that he did, and it's a little bit not for mixed audiences, but Aubrey Beardsley, the little band that made it big, that makes it big. So how's that for the most ill-advised t-shirt design of all time? The little band that makes it big. We sold out, but it was the 1990s. Aubrey Beardsley is also the artist that did this piece originally, the album cover. John Barry took Aubrey Beardsley's work and completely colorized, added detail, added all sorts of stuff in it, all sorts of meaningful stuff to the band and to Minneapolis in the early 90s. So it's an adaptation by John, but I was really into Aubrey Beardsley at the time. Anyway, look him up. He's a fascinating character. All right. So please. Oh, yeah. And just while we're doing the merch, I still have these for sale. Good God. I still have a couple boxes of cassettes, Parlez-vous Français cassettes, and a few boxes of CDs still, courtesy of Pravda Records. So, still got the Wisely Matchbook t-shirts too. Plenty of those. I keep those, and there's nothing untoward or there's nothing sexist or too racy for the now generation. The Matchbook t-shirts are eternal. Okay, moving back to the comments. What do we got? Yes, Richard, Lady Beware was always a great closer. Okay. Richard, thanks for stopping by. And Ryan, what do you got? Amazing version. Oh, good. Yeah, I wanted to do sort of a distant, like bluesy, rural blues version of it. Carrie Aria, what a great version. This was always a live highlight. It really was. We were insane when we did it, with a huge feedback and improvisation section in the middle. Yep. We you like the chill vibe? Good. Thank you, sir. And let's see. Thank you, Jimmy. Ken, what's that? That's not a song. It's an Oscar-worthy dramatic performance. It is. And it's about the unforgivable nature of men. Stephen Shaw. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Stephen. That means a lot coming from you. You've seen that song many times. You used to have the Lady Beware t-shirt? Epic. Glad you liked it, man. Was that t-shirt ahead of its time or now out of its time? Okay. We are moving on to next song. I went through a phase of discovering gospel music from the 1940s and 1950s, and just getting very inspired by that, and wrote sort of almost, I guess, sort of rewrote my own versions of certain gospel standards. And I'm not sure there's a song called Robe and Glory, but Robe and Glory is definitely a phrase that I heard Mahalia Jackson say in one of her songs, or maybe it was Rosetta Tharpe. And it just really stuck in my head. And yep, right key. So I wrote my own version of Robe and Glory, song number 4 on Parlez-vous Français. All right, no one's complaining, so the audio quality must be okay. Let me know if you hear any distortion.
You and I, we held our codes long before toting heavenly loads. Let's go home right now. Let's go home, tell our story. I'm gonna put on this robe in glory, hallelujah. Let's go home to tell. I'm gonna put on this robe in glory. Let's go home and tell our story. You and I, we stole the show, but there was much we did not know. Let's go home right now. Let's go home, tell our story. I'm gonna put on this robe in glory. Let's go home to tell. I'm gonna put on this robe in glory. Let's go home to tell the story. Well, I've been coming over hills and mountains. I'm gonna drink from that Christian fountain. And you know, all I got sons and daughters that morning will drink that old healing water. I'm gonna put on this robe in glory. Let's go home to tell I'm gonna put on this robe in glory, hallelujah. Let's go home and tell I'm gonna wear this robe in glory. Let's go home and tell a story.
That's a fun one. That is, yeah, just really a fun song. Not sure why I love it so much, but it's got a good groove. And let's see. Hey, Tanya. Hello, Ryan. Robin Glory. God, the memories. Don't let me kill you with nostalgia, Ryan. Tina Cat. Thanks for the good word. There's Ryan. Robin Glory. God, the memories. God. It's all about God. All right. Back to the banners. Song number 5. This song I re-recorded for my recent album, Face the Sun. And in fact, you can find it at on Spotify, definitely. I released an EP of it. There's a early demo. Early demos. It's actually 2 demos. The first time I just sort of sat down and started carving out the song and fleshing it out. And you can hear that. It's just me in my father's house in San Anselmo, California, just sort of mumbling into a... I believe I was actually using a tape deck, and the microphone was a headphone that I plugged into the input. If you talk into a headphone like this, but put it into the mic input on some of those old cassette decks, it acts as a microphone. It's just a reverse microphone. So that's lo-fi. And then you get a version that James Voss on bass, upright bass, and then Peter on the drums in the basement of Delisi's, which was a Italian restaurant where we had a rehearsal space in North Minneapolis. We recorded a demo of it there, just the 3 of us. And then the third song on the EP was the version on Parlez-vous Français, which I'm tracking here today. Everything's backwards. And actually I had John Fields remix that version. It seemed worth it to bring it into the modern age, put some of his magic on it. And then the 4th version was from my new album, Face the Sun, which was produced by Ed Ackerson, who sadly passed away last year, and miss him a lot. So you could see the history of No Surprise in that EP. I think it's at Apple Music. I know it's at Spotify and a bunch of other places. It's just called No Surprise EP. And you can see a lot of different versions of it. Here we go.
Now I can't understand why you treat me like you do. I'd rearrange the stars, mine becomes ours, and I can't comprehend these amazing stunts you pull. You leave me with the thrill, but I know what's coming next. No surprise, no surprise, no You say the word, I will be out of your life for good. That's not what I wanna do, but I know what's coming next. No surprise. You say the word, I will be out of your life for good. That's not what I wanna hear, but I know what's coming next. I know what's coming next. Hell, I know what's coming next. No surprise.
That felt good. That felt good. That's a high song, man. I wrote that in a high key that's at 55 years old is a little more difficult than it used to be. All right, what do we got? Micah, hey, Robe and Glory makes my heart warm. Oh, thank you so much, my man. Isaac, hello, welcome. I will take love anywhere I can get it, including on the internet. That is my favorite song. What, No Surprise, I imagine that you're talking about? Awesome. Glad I could play it. Shay, great tune. Shay is just a couple doors down, I do believe. Thank you, sir. Always great to see you. Come down, knock anytime. Robert, that shirt reminds me about our talks about potato chips. Yes, the Willie Wisely Trio used to cover a song called Potato Chips by Slim Gaillard, an artist who Robert Cortez, being a DJ, knows all about. You got to look up Slim Gaillard, Gaillard. Crazy hep cat, 1930s, 40s, probably more 40s, somewhere between jazz and rhythm and blues, out of his mind, like, just, what would you call it? Just a pot hound from the jazz era. Oh, Robert. Let's see. Isaac says, great song, Wash Hands. Great song, Wash Hands. I have to think about that one. Glad I found your page. Just subscribe. Thank you so much, Isaac. That means everything. Honestly, that's those little clicks that you guys make on the subscribes and likes and stuff. That is the currency that helps my music reach more people. So it's more about just, it's not even about, you and me or your clicks, but it helps the algorithms and the services send my music out farther and wider. My messages. James, good to see you. Ryan, super well done. Oh, you like No Surprise. Oh, very good. And Shay, that was an emoji on YouTube. Oh, yeah, it didn't come across on the platform. Thank you, Shay. I assume you didn't send a piece of dookie emoji, but maybe something more pleasant. We are going to song number, I've lost track, 6 or 7. Okay, here's a song that was never meant to play the solo acoustic. I don't even know what to do with this. This song is so squirrely. If you look up a version of this on KVSC, SC. It was a radio station that had their own cable TV show. There's a version of the trio doing it in like 94. And the song is insane. It has so many different breaks and goes different directions. It always reminds me a little bit of moments of Elvis Costello, if I may flatter myself. Doing it solo acoustic, that'll be interesting. Probably hadn't done it solo acoustic since the first time I brought it to James and Peter and Greg in the basement and said, hey, let's try and put this together. So here we go. There's a lot going on to this song called Motor. Sorry. Motor Scooter. I'm going to get out the lyrics just in case I forget them. Okay, here we go.
Pull your socks on and go. Dirty laundry ain't smelled so sweet tonight. That's the road that I like. Turn my back on the signs. Past the house where the folks are standing still. That's the road that I like. That's the road that I hold. Gonna take a sweet ride, yeah. Peel out on my motor scooter now. That's the road that I'm on. Bend over, you say goodbye. Turn the corner and go. Ain't gonna see no red lights tonight. That's the road that I like. That's the road that I like. Squeeze the handle and speed. Tain't stopping for man or beast in the street, eating bugs with my face. That's the road that I'm on. Gonna take a sweet ride, yeah. Peel out on my motor scooter now. That's the road that I'm on. Bend over, you say goodbye. Can't go 35. Tain't speeding, but I'm happy to give it a try. That's the road that I like. That's the road that I like. Love. Gonna take a sweet ride, yeah. Peel out on my motor scooter now. That's the road that I'm on. Bend over, you say goodbye, my love. That's the road that I'm on. Peel out on my motor scooter now. That's the road that I'm on. Bend over, you say goodbye. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. 3, 4.
Whatever. All right. I was trying to make an ending that didn't exist. There you go with Motor Scooter. Let's forget about that one. I do remember recording it with Ezra Gold, though, at Gark Studio. And we put a lot of adventure into that recording. Check out the recording. There's a lot of weird phase shift hoo-ha going on. Mike LaVille, can you start over, please? Sorry, I just got here. Okay, song 1, Dinky Town. I'll go really fast. When in Dinky Town, sip a cup of Joe, open up my books, but I'm staring at the girls. I've got time. No time, no time, no time on my mind. There, concert in 10 seconds for Mike LaVille. These are posted on the good old-fashioned YouTube, and after a little bit of processing, these shows of mine get posted on Facebook and YouTube. So you can go there. We are going back to the banners, and we're switching to the next song. All right. Alive has found a new meaning in my heart as of recently. It was written. Well, there's my wife. She's sneaking into the mise en scène there. Hi. Since the death of George Floyd, this song has found new personal meaning for me, being about the dignity of death. I have a hard time explaining what I mean by the dignity of death, but it rings true to me. Oh. There we go. Wrong key.
Feed me with a fever. Eat though I can't take a bite. Cook for two like you used to do. Make me think that I'm alive. Laugh at me with feeling. Laugh though I can't slap my thigh. Smile away like you used to do. Make me think that I'm alive. Love me with more feeling. Mama,
darn it. Oh, I forgot to retune the guitar. From Lady Beware. Starting from the bridge.
Feed me with more feeling. Mama, wrap your arms around this corpse. Love me for the last time in my life. Make me think that I'm alive.
Families have a way of making you feel you're alive.
Love me with more feeling. Mama, wrap your arms around this corpse. Love me for the last time in my life. Make me think that I'm alive.
Oh, Isaac, it's my pleasure. Lori, I extended that version for you. I made it extra long. Lots of harmonica. I'm getting back into the harmonica, so it's good to stretch out a little bit. I know, those darn kids. I'm glad my wife looks like a kid. Oh, that's funny. I'll have to tell her you said so. Okay. I was listening to a lot of Louis Jordan in the early 90s when I wrote this. And so I don't know if if it shows or not. I think it does. So I wanted to write a jump blues song that just talked about like, it's like Louis Jordan's Saturday Night Fish Fry, right? But this one's called Talking Trash. Another one that's really hard to pull off alone. Tell me what you think. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Tonight I throw a party, a real gone bash. Gonna brew the stew they call the heavenly mash. On the corner store the boys are dipping into the stash. Long before I knew it, we were all talking trash. We're talking trash. We're talking trash, yeah. We're talking trash. Let's talk trash. Your teeth are gnashing, gashing, thrashing. Help me, I've got me a rash. Trash. 2, 3, 4. Ladies strut by and they flutter a lash. Gentlemen smile as they twist their mustache. Beggars on the stoop tip in their haberdash. No soul is spared when we're out talking trash. We're talking trash. We're talking trash. We're talking trash, yeah. Oh, let's talk trash. Your teeth are gnashing, gashing, thrashing. Help me, I've got me a rash. Trash. Remembered what I was doing in a real hot flash. The stew I was brewing probably burned to an ash. I run back home in a furious dash. A dozen folks are waiting, seems the party's been trashed. I'm talking trash. I'm talking trash, yeah. I'm talking trash, yeah. No, let's talk trash. Your teeth are gnashing, gashing, thrashing. Help me, I've got me a rash. Boulder dash trash. We're talking trash. We're talking trash. Let's talk trash. Your teeth are gnashing, gashing, thrashing. Help me, I've got me a rash. Boulder dash trash.
The trio also did a great version of that one. There's a video for it on YouTube too, on the KVSC. Willie Wise, the trio, KVSC, Talking Trash. We did an insane version of that one. All right, Louis Jordan. Yes, Sarah, thanks for joining in. And Dane Gallagher, 6 Buckets. Oh man, 6 Buckets was definitely from this era. Maybe I'll do a little bonus track at the end of this. 6 Buckets wasn't on Parlez-Vous. It was on the cassette release prior. to my compiled cassette releases are definitely on my streaming and stuff. You can find them there. But Six Buckets was on the cassettes prior to Parlez-Vous Français, the album we're tracking today. I'll do a bonus track at the end here, and we'll play Six Buckets. That'll be fun. Good idea, Mr. Gallagher. And you must be related to Sarah, right? And Sarah loves Louis Jordan. Yep, and Six Buckets. I will play that one. Oh, wow. Isaac, you've heard me since 97. Maybe your first album was Turbo Sherbet? Yeah, I covered that one a couple months ago on this show, if you can call it a show. Time for backing vocals. Yeah, Michael LaVille is actually credited on the liner notes of the CD. He sang backgrounds on that one.
Hi.
Never get on camera with kids. No kids and no dogs. That's Winston, my son. He just came back from a baseball tournament. They did in Iowa. They did well, really well the first day. Really well the first day. Day two, they're home early, so that's maybe not such a good sign. All right. We are going back to the banners. All right. This one, so proud of this song when I wrote it. It actually made sense to sing some of it in French. I want it being the title of the record. You know, speaking of talking trash, the song I just did, the working title for the album was called Shit Yeah. I'm glad we didn't call it Shit Yeah. We called it Parlez-Vous Français. You know, and while I'm thinking of it, as many of you know, the John Barry artwork graces the front of the album. Well, originally, I was thinking of just putting myself on the cover of the album. And I posted one of these pictures on the internet. It was really fun to come across these photos by Elizabeth Barnwell, who took the photos way back when. And I hadn't seen these in 25 odd years, maybe more. And I was just blown away. Like, how did I not put this on the cover of the compact disc? Like, it's so cool. She projected a dead seagull photo on me as I stood against a wall. What a cool album cover that would have made, right? God, totally makes me look like a huge star. I wouldn't know what that feels like. Here's a here. Can you see that one? That works well. I have a piece of paper somewhere with that Willie Wisely trio printed on it. We hung that on the wall behind me and just took a picture of it. So that's not an overlaid thing. I'm not into like the Ecuadorian wool top at all. But I like the silly look on my face. These were all possible album covers, you know. This one worked. How can I do this? There. I like the big out of focus tennis shoe in the foreground. And that's a kind smile. It just didn't seem like the smile was too kind for an album cover. Whatever. You want to be kind of cooler, more removed, more of an artist. More like this one. Holy cow, that's a great photo. That's cool. I'm sitting in front of a Victrola cabinet at Elizabeth's house. Man, that should have been an album cover. This works too. If you just want face. If we're just doing the Phil Collins thing. Phil Collins. Anyway, Elizabeth, we need to find the negatives to these, because if I ever do a greatest hits, maybe these can be the cover. If the world ever needs a greatest hits that never were from Willie Wisely, those are made great album covers. It's, I mean, I love this album cover too, but it's like, how could I have rejected those photos? You did an amazing job. All right, so thank you for letting me go on that little bender. We're going to do the title track to the album. All right, a little bossa nova for you.
Parlez-vous français? He answers no. Smiles seem to say, what's apropos? Words could not interpret this affair. Parlez-vous français? They don't care. Oh. Les mots seuls ne peuvent interpréter cette affaire. Parlez-vous français? They don't care. On s'en fout. On s'en fout, yeah.
Weird little modal thing. All right. Seemed like a. How's that for take the most esoteric song on your album and make that the album title? Brilliant. Roughly the equivalent of roughly the brilliant equivalent of printing up lots of Lady Beware t-shirts. Jesus. Again, I got one of those for sale for anyone who's nostalgic about Lady Beware songs. It's actually, Lady Beware is actually an apology on behalf of all men. Just saying, like, I'm sorry, we have so many, we're just awful human beings. You know, like basically, women are our better half. We get to the last track of Parlez-vous français. But first, the comments. Lori, in my head, Ella is still a toddler. I can't handle how grown up Winston is. I know. His feet are bigger than mine, actually. His cast-off shoes now go to me. That's crazy. Nobody told me about this, that my son would have these enormous paws and I'd be the benefactor of that. I just thought that, rearing children would just be, outbound money and great fiscal inefficiencies. But it turns out I can wear all his clothes. Shay is actually a friend of Winston's. That's great. I'll pass that along, Shay. The universe is a woman. Oh, Ryan, yes. That's the poetic way to put it. I should say that. Yeah. Instead of saying Lady Beware, I should actually print up t-shirts that say the universe is a woman. Oh, I love it. Love. Why don't we just leave that up there? We're just going to leave Ryan's comment up there because I believe that's beautiful. And I'm going to play the final closing track on Parlez-vous français. My friend James Gunn, who had me do the soundtrack to his 1997 film Tromeo and Juliet, took a fancy to this song and put it in that movie. And to this day, people still get in touch with me from hearing this song in that movie. And movies are powerful things, even if they are Troma films. Anyone know about Troma? Anyway, crazy. Anyway, that was a fun soundtrack to make, and even funner to go listen back to because it's a little nuts. But this song was on my album at the time, and James wanted this recording in the soundtrack, so that's fun. Enough of that. Repeating myself, trying to remember what key this is in. There we go. All right. I wrote this in the back of the van, driving out of St. Louis. In probably 1992.
Don't rumple bump the face. Don't bother brush your gaze at me, oh, it's so all alone. I want to be alone. I spoke with such a nerve. Out loud without reserve. A drink or two towards proud. I heard it hush the crowd. Whoa, so all alone. Do I want to be alone? So friends begin to leave. My apologies turn to pleas. I wished I were a fly. Oh, I wished I were a fly. But these walls are much too wide. Whoa, so all alone. So alone. So alone. Well, I've got to be alone. So alone. Don't rumple bump a face. Don't bother brush gaze at me. Oh, so all alone. So so alone, well, I've got to be alone. Ooh, I wanna be alone. Yeah, oh, I wanna be alone. Yeah, ooh, I wanna be alone.
And so ends Parlez-vous Français. 10 tracks. Originally released in 1994, in March 1st, I think, on Pravda Records out of Chicago. That was the first out-of-town record label I was ever on. It's a big trip. There was a big, big trip to be on a label from out of town. Again, CDs, cassettes, we got them. We got them. A Lady Beware t-shirt, a poster, signed posters. Those are for sale too at the Bandcamp below. I'm going to do actually 2 bonus tracks before we take off here. Without fail, these shows tend to last exactly till 6:30. That 90 minutes seems like the magic. But we're going to do Isaac's request. Just getting back to the comments here. Lisa Nelson, even funner to have the movie poster. Oh, do you have the movie poster? I've got a copy of it somewhere, the Romeo and Juliet movie poster. Thanks for your support, Ryan. Sarah, oh, thank you. I find that these webcasts do better if I play really quietly, and it sort of adds a farawayness to things. I think that worked well. And Lori Biddle, clap, clap, clap. I love you. Ken, oh, thank you for the comment. And Steve, is now when we get the tracks that didn't make the cut, like Hippopotamus Tag. Yes, thank you for reminding me, Stephen. There's a album that's on my streaming sites everywhere called Gospo Feel, Gospo, Gospo Feel. And it's the record. It's the outtakes from Parlez-Vous Français. We went into the recording studio. I actually posted something on Facebook this week, and you can't see it on there. It was a recording budget, but it was clear that we went into the recording studio in February of '93 and recorded all these songs, and almost nothing worked. And then we went back into the Terrarium in October of '93 and recorded most the album. Then we went over to Gark Studio, I think, in December, and finished off everything and mixed a few things and mastered it there. It was neat seeing the budget for that. But the first sessions at the Terrarium in February of '93, a lot of stuff was thrown away. I put a lot of it was actually worth saving, and I put a lot of it was trombone heavy, like it was really dependent on Greg, and Greg had quit the band, I think, in August of '93. So I just didn't know what to do with that material. Anyway, it's the Lost album, Gospel Feel. You can hear it there. Hippopotamus tags on it, and a song called Changes Made, which is crazy. Fly My Kite, and then an early version of Cannot Love You Enough, and basically a forgotten album from 1993. So thank you for reminding me of that, Steve. Gospel Feel. Lisa, I don't know what that's in regard to. Okay, let's see. Lisa has the Tromeo and Juliet poster. That's what she was saying. All right, we're going to do 2 bonus tracks. 6 Buckets of Kerosene was like Lady Beware in almost every show that we did.
They wouldn't pay to fix it up. Now they're gonna pay. They'll see it burning down. They wouldn't pay to fix it up. Now they're gonna pay. They'll see it burning down. We're gonna take 6 buckets of kerosene. We're gonna burn it down. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, they live upstairs for slightly more than 44 years or so. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, they live upstairs for slightly more than 44 years or so. We're gonna take 6 buckets of kerosene. We're gonna burn it down. Spill a quart in every room or so. Wake up, little fool, they ain't found little Susie yet. Spill a quart in every room or so. Wake up, fool, put out your cigarette on. What do you need, Winnie? Are you just enjoying the show? He has to go to the bathroom, so he's just waiting in line. Don't we have other restrooms in this house?
Yeah, but
they're all busy. Everyone's going at the same time.
they're all really loud.
What's going to be loud? The flushing of a toilet. We have the most incredible conversations during the solos of 6 Buckets of Kerosene. I suggest going out in the yard and peeing in the bushes. Oh, that isn't going to work, if you know what I mean. Well, in the meantime, I get a rather impatient, but nonetheless an audience. Well, ain't nobody gonna make a fuss or raise a stink. No stink, just help old Joe out onto the street. Well, ain't nobody gonna make a fuss or raise a stink. Just help old Joe out onto the street. We're gonna take 6 buckets of kerosene. We're gonna burn it down. 6 buckets of kerosene. 6 buckets of kerosene. 6 buckets of kerosene. 6 buckets of kerosene. We're gonna take 6 buckets of woo. We're gonna burn it down.
Isaac, good idea, man. Good idea to cover that song. Going back to the comments before I do my last song of the day. Always get some claps from Lori. I like that. Oh, I'm going back in time now. Lisa does have the Romeo and Juliet poster. Ryan, oh yeah, I did 6 buckies for you. And then Lori, I forking love 6 bucks of kerosene. And now you get a complete monologue in the middle that will never repeat itself again. Matt Broughton, you've got a show coming up. Let us know. My dear friend Matt Broughton, great songwriter. When is your next online show? Have I missed it already? I hope you got another one coming. Let us know in the comments here. Lisa, you like the groove of 6 buckets? Yeah, go outside. Yeah, that was my fatherly advice to Winston as well. Winston, how'd it go? All right, didn't get a remark. I love the music on these shows, but the anecdotal commentary is priceless. I thought you were going to say it has to go. So I appreciate that. Somebody tuned in the other day and then sent me a comment that said, "You're not Bob Dylan, shut up and play." And I'm like, wow, is that what, you know, and honestly, that was the one time where I took one of my shows and thought, well, let's put some Facebook dollars into this and just put it out there for some advertising, you know, or like, you know, see if advertising brings in more audience. All it did was bring in 3 trolls, just people saying mean stuff. Like, I'm never advertising on Facebook again. All right. We lost a biggie today. This on Friday, actually. We lost a biggie, right? Representative John Lewis, the last of his generation. So I wanted to close the song with what's essentially my newest song. And it's called "There's One in Every Generation."
Well, there's one in every generation. There comes a daughter or son, one who opens up our imaginations. Are you the one? Well, there's one in every generation, standing right up for what's true, fighting for dignity in tough situations. Will that be you? Oh, lift yourself by treating everyone here exactly how they want to be treated. Lift yourself by letting everyone know exactly how much they're needed. Lift yourself by giving everyone here a dignified place to stand. You will be the one who makes the difference in the end. There's one in every generation, someone who puts it all on the line, someone with the courage of their convictions, changing hearts, souls, and minds. Oh, lift yourself by treating everyone here exactly how they want to be treated. yourself by letting everyone here know how much they need it. Lift yourself by giving everyone here a dignified place to stand. Well, you will be the one who makes the difference in the end. There is one in every generation, someone who aims for the sun, one who lifts the midget off our imaginations, getting business done. Yeah, are you the one? Are you the one? There's one in every generation. Representative John Lewis was the last living speaker from the March on Washington. So indeed, his passing is the end of a generation with its dreams unrealized, but still cooking hard, cooking solid. Remember, silence is violence. It's time to have those hard conversations. That's my resolution right now. There's a hard conversation I gotta have. In the memory of John Lewis, the torch is passed. Are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? Peace and love, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. We tracked my album Parlez-vous Français from 1994, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll be back for another live cast in a couple weeks or so. In the meantime, you can subscribe to my email list and stay on top of everything. bit.ly at Wisely email, or bit.ly/Wisely email, bit.ly/Wisely email. Thank you, everybody. Without an audience, would I do this? Would the trees fall in the woods? Would I write songs without you? I don't know. So for that, I thank you all, and I send my love. Bye-bye.